Okay, good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the Township of Wainfleet regular council meeting of January 10th, 2023 to order. Council just met in closed session. I will now ask the clerk to provide the closed session report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council met in open session at 6 p.m. and passed a resolution to go into closed session to receive information from the township solicitor respecting litigation files affecting the municipality.
Okay, please stand for the national anthem. Okay, we would like to begin this meeting by acknowledging the land on which we gather as traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee peoples, acknowledging the One Bowl and Spoon Treaty. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Councilors? No? Okay. I do have an interest in closed session, agenda item number 16A, consideration of applications to various boards and committees as a family member is an applicant to the Committee of Adjustment. Please note that the meeting proceedings are being broadcast live, recorded, and made available through the Township website and YouTube. I want to thank everybody that pulled through during the big storm event we had during Christmas break. It was really nice to see everybody throughout the community coming together to help each other out. Regional Council meets Thursday, January 19th at 6:30 p.m. We will be commencing our budget meeting soon, Tuesday, January 31st. It's going to be the capital budget, and Tuesday, February 28th, the operating budget. Our next regular meeting of council will be held Tuesday, February 7th at 7 p.m. Are there any announcements or remarks from members of council? Councilor McCollum?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, there's a sheet in front of each of the councilors and the mayor of the accomplishments of the Airport Commission over the last 4 years. So there's way too many to go through. I'll let you all read them, and I'm sure it'll get posted in the minutes of the meeting. So just so you know what that is there. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other councilors? Councilor Anderson?
Through you, Mayor Grant, I'd just like to acknowledge, since we're an agricultural farming community, that the Ontario dairy farmers are and continue to be, particularly this year because of COVID and children, they're a huge supporter of Toronto Sick Children's Hospital.
Any other comments or remarks? No. Okay, are there any comments or corrections for the draft minutes listed on the agenda? Okay, since there's no comments, I have a motion that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held November 1st, 2022 and December 13th, 2022 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Councilor McCollum, Councilor Van Fleet. Any discussion? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Public meetings, there are no public meetings listed on the agenda this evening. As far as delegations, we have no delegations listed on the agenda this evening. We'll move on to staff reports. Ms. Kirkham, would you like to give a brief overview of your report?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to all of council. The purpose of this report is to review and propose updates to our current provision of public notice policy to ensure notice provisions are up to date, realistic, and cost effective. Staff are proposing a move that will see the use of traditional print media scaled back to only significant municipal actions that would have long-term impacts upon the township, for example, restructuring proposals or establishing a ward system. Municipal actions that are more routine in nature, such as adopting a budget or regular reviews of fees and charges. Notice will be provided via the township's website, social media channels, and posted through the council agenda package. The revisions to the policy would result in savings to the township with minimal impact on the distribution of notice messaging. A copy of the Appendix A of the report has been provided to you outlining the proposed changes, and those changes are in blue. And I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I have a motion that staff report ASR 001-2023 respecting the provision of the public notice policy be received, and that council adopt the updated provision of public notice policy attached to this report as Appendix A. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councilor McCullen? Councilor Gilmore? Any discussion? Councilor McCullen?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I see a lot of these parking tickets there and parking violations. They're sitting at $30. Can we really process something for $30 anymore by the time we send a person out there? And
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I think you're a bit ahead of us. We're on the notice
okay,
policy
yeah,
report.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I did that last time. Any other discussions? No? Okay. I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, that's carried. Ms. Kirkham, would you like to give a... we're going to go ahead with ASR 002-2023, the board and committee appointments. Ms. Kirkham, would you like to give a brief overview of your report?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to all of council. The new term of council is required to make new appointments to its various boards and committees, being the Committee of Adjustment, the Library Board, Drainage Advisory Committee, and the Age-Friendly Advisory Committee. Council will review all applications later on in the agenda in closed session, and a motion to appoint members to said committees will take place in open session thereafter under Rise and Report. Staff is also seeking direction as to the future of the Age-Friendly Advisory Committee, as the number of applications received is insufficient to meet the requirements of the composition of the committee in the terms of reference. Council may consider extending the application period, revisit the application process in the summer months, or dissolve the committee completely. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, can I get a mover and seconder that that report be received? Councilor Van Fleet, Councilor McCullen. Any discussion? Councilor Gilmore.
Thank you, Mayor. Regarding the Age-Friendly Advisory Committee, I would suggest that we just extend the application period for another month or two. I believe we have 3 now instead of 2, so we're getting close, and a little more promotional, hopefully fill that. That'd be my recommendation, Mayor.
Councilor Van Fleet.
Through you, Chair. I was going to recommend doing the exact same thing. And also, just to let people know, it says age-friendly, which means all ages are being accepted onto the committee.
Any other further discussions? Okay, I'll call the question.
So, just so through you, Mr. Mayor. So the motion then will include the extension of the application period. Did you say 1 or 2 months? With promotion?
Let's say 2 months.
2 months
If
time?
we fill it, I think as soon as you reach the number that we need, given that we've already had the period, as soon as you reach 5, then we'll review those. If they're all acceptable, then we'll move on.
Okay.
Rather than just delay this further. So if it takes a couple of months, so be it.
Okay.
So I suppose the motion could read until such time as we reach the minimum number of applicants. And then we don't have to keep revisiting this.
Okay, so if council is okay, maybe I could just add that in without having to amend, if it's a friendly amendment, if that's okay with everybody? Yes? Okay.
Can I get a mover and a seconder? Yeah, that's fine. All right. All right, so I'll call the motion that the report be received. Can I get a mover and seconder? Just did that as well. As amended. Oh. Okay. Okay, that motion forward that the administrative staff report ASR 002-2023 respecting board and committee appointments be received, and that council review and selects citizen appointees for the Committee of Adjustment, Drainage Advisory Committee, and Public Library Board, and that council provide direction to staff regarding the age-friendly committee. And can I get a mover? Oh, and that the application period be extended by 2 months? Oh. Until the terms of reference are satisfied. All right, now can I get a mover and seconder? All right. Any other discussion? No? Oh, Councillor Anderson?
Through you, Mayor Grant, I'm just wondering if we could, just as a courtesy, if people aren't in attendance tonight or able to watch on Zoom, the 3 standing people who put their names forward for the age-friendly, if we could just mention to them that they're still in process, they're still standing, and just send them a communication on that issue. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, I'll call the question then. It's all in favor? Opposed? It's carried. All right, now we're going to move on to the bylaw enforcement staff reports. Memorandum, proposed amendment to the administrative monetary penalty system bylaw. Ms. Earle, would you like to give a brief overview of your memo?
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor, staff have identified a need to amend the short form wording contained in Schedule A of the AMPS bylaw. This is just technical corrections to better reflect the corresponding regulations contained in a current parking bylaw. So that's been amended a number of times. It just doesn't match up with the current AMPS bylaw. So there's no changes to the parking bylaw proposed at this time, just the schedule. Thank you.
All right, so I'll call the motion that the memorandum for the bylaw enforcement officer respecting proposed amendment to the administrative monetary penalty system bylaw be received as motion. Can I get be received as information? Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councillor Anderson, Councillor Gilmore, any discussion? No? Okay. I'll call the question then. All in favor? Opposed? That'll be carried. Okay, we're going to move on to planning staff reports. PSR 001-2023, housekeeping amendment, Z01-2022W. Ms. Ivins, would you please give a brief overview of your report?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to all of council. So this report provides a review of the applicable planning policies as it relates to the township-initiated housekeeping amendment to correct mapping errors, numbering errors, and other administrative items. So a public meeting was held at the last council meeting on December 13th, which satisfied the public consultation requirements under the Planning Act. So it's my opinion that the housekeeping amendment meets the applicable provincial, regional, and township planning policies, and I have recommended that the amendment be adopted. The implementing bylaw is on this evening's agenda as bylaw 002.
All right, I have a motion that planning staff report PSR 001-2023 be received and that township initiated zoning bylaw amendment file number Z01-2022W be approved for the reasons outlined in PSR 001/2023 and that the township initiated zoning bylaw amendment file Z01-2022W be deemed consistent with the provincial policy statement 2020 and other matters of provincial interest, and that the zoning bylaw amendment attached as Appendix B be adopted. Can I get a mover and seconder? Councillor McCullen, Councillor Wainfleet, any discussion? No? Okay, all in favor then? Opposed? It's carried. Okay, we're moving on to PSR 002-2023, zoning bylaw amendment Z06-2022, W Hamlet lot coverage. Ms. Ivins, would you please give us a brief overview of your report?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to all of council, So this report provides a review of the applicable planning policies as it relates to the township-initiated amendment to increase the lot coverage for hamlet residential zones from 7% to 10%. So a public meeting for this application or this amendment was held on December 13th as well, satisfying the public consultation requirements under the Planning Act. It's my opinion that the amendment meets the applicable regional and provincial and township planning policies, and I've recommended that the amendment be adopted. The implementing bylaw is on tonight's agenda as bylaw 003.
Thank you. I'll have a motion that the planning staff report PSR 002-2023 be received and that township-initiated zoning bylaw amendment file number Z06-2022 W be approved for the reasons outlined in PSR 002-2023, and that the township-initiated zoning bylaw amendment file Z06-2022 be deemed consistent with the provincial policy statement 2020 and other matters of provincial interest, and that the zoning bylaw amendment attached as Appendix A be adopted. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councilor McClellan, Councilor Gilmore. Any discussion? Councilor Van Fleet.
Through you, Chair, I'm just going to let you know that I'll be opposing this bylaw. I didn't think so.
Any other discussion? No. Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, it's carried. Review of correspondence. There are no items on the correspondence listed on the agenda this evening. Are there any items that members of council would like pulled for consideration at this time? Okay, I have a motion that, yeah, I'm at bylaws.
Good. So
Yep.
through you, Mr. Mayor, Councillor Van Vliet had suggested that she would be voting against a bylaw. So instead of reading them in a block, we'll read the first two together, and then the bylaw number, it's 3 that you were referring to.
Yeah, it's the
2023?
one regarding the percentage coverage.
Okay. Okay. So we'll read the first 2 in a block, and then C separately.
And Madam Clerk, could we get a recorded vote for that one? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I have a motion that the following bylaws be read and passed this 10th day of January 2023. Bylaw number 001-2023 being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 02-2014 being a bylaw to establish a system for administrative penalties respecting the stopping, standing, and parking of vehicles. Bylaw number 002-2023 being a bylaw pursuant to the provisions of Section 34 of the Planning Act RSO 1990 to amend zoning bylaw number 034-2014 of the Corporation of the Township of Wainfleet with respect to all lands within the Township of Wainfleet. All right, can I get a mover and seconder on those two? Councilor McClellan, Councilor Van Fleet. Any discussion? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? All opposed? It's carried.
Okay, so I'll read the last motion here. So it's that the following bylaw be read and passed this 10th day of January 2023. Bylaw number 3-2023 being a bylaw pursuant to the provisions of Section 34 of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, to amend zoning bylaw number 581-78 and zoning bylaw number 034-2014 of the Corporation of the Township of Wainfleet with respect to all lands within the Township of Wainfleet.
All right, can I get a mover and a seconder? Councilor Gilmore, Councilor McClellan. Okay, and then I'll call the question of all in favor. Oh, okay. Procedural. Yeah.
Councillor McClellan? Councillor Van Vliet?
Opposed?
Councillor Anderson?
In favor.
Councillor Gilmore?
In favor.
And Mayor Grant?
In favor.
And that's carried.
All right, we're moving on to notices of motion. Are there any notice of motion for members of council? No? Okay, then I have a motion that council will now move into closed session to discuss item under section 239-2B of the Municipal Act 2001, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. One item, consideration of applications to various boards and committees. Minutes of the closed meeting. Oh. What's that? Yeah, okay, you screwed me up. Minutes of the closed meeting of council held November 1st, 2022 and December 13th, 2022. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councilor Gilmore, Councilor Anderson. Any discussion? No? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried.